Hi friends, it's Gwen. Welcome back to my channel. I'm here with a special reading vlog. If you don't follow me on Instagram, you probably have no idea, but one of my friends, Andy, has an Etsy shop. She sells bookmarks and pins and washi tape and stationery and stickers and bookmarks. Did I say bookmarks? Also, something that she has semi-recently started doing is blind date with a book. And she has several different ones that you can get, like contemporary historical fiction, romance, thriller mystery, and then YA sci-fi, YA fantasy. I think those are the 5 different categories that she's doing right now. I went ahead and picked one up. I went with the romance option. Not sure why. Surprising, yes, but maybe it helped her out by not picking thriller mystery. But anyway, the book that I ended up getting is What You Wish For by Kensinger. And I think that Catherine's books, all like covers, all kind of really go together. But I've never read anything by this author before. In this reading vlog, I'm going to be reading this book and sharing my thoughts with you. It will be spoiler free, as always, but I don't want to read the full synopsis of what it's about. I want to just go based off of what Andy said. So on the front of the package was this little thing that she writes it down, and it says school librarian, self-discovery, quirky, and feel good. And I'm wondering if she gave me the quirky because she knows I don't mind quirky characters. So I'm gonna get started. It's Friday. I figured, do I have time to read this before the live show? Maybe, maybe not, we shall see. But it's been a very busy day and I'm also kind of exhausted. So am I actually gonna start reading right now? I'm gonna try. This camera has been through a lot. Anyway, I'm here with a reading update of What You Wish For by Kensinger, and I did read a good chunk yesterday. So I'm on chapter 9, page 110. So I'm here to tell you the basic synopsis of the story. So we have Samantha, who, it's interesting because I was trying to like flip through and see like how often they use her name, and they don't. She's just like I and me and you know all of that. Anyway, so first person perspective in this one. She is a librarian at this school in Galveston, Texas. It's like this island in Texas. I was lucky to be a librarian at a very special, very legendary elementary school on Galveston Island called the Kempner School. And not only did I enjoy my job and the kids and the other teachers, I also lived in Babette and Max Kempner's garage apartment. Although garage apartment doesn't quite capture it, the real term was carriage house because it had once been the apartment above the stables back when horses and buggies were a thing. So she's living with Max and Babette, and Max is the principal at the elementary school and then Babette is his wife, but they actually founded this school and he named it after his wife Babette. Well, her name Kepner. Anyway, so she lives there and they're going off to, I think, Italy or something like that. And she's doing this party for him, like a birthday party. And she kind of makes it, she wants to make it like really, really special. And they didn't leave her a big like fund for like decorations and stuff, so she kind of starts calling around the town, and everybody loves Max and Babette, so everybody's pitching in and stuff like that, and they have this really great party. And then while she's dancing with Max, I think he has, what did he have, a heart attack or something like that? No, it was something else. Pulmonary embolism. It's where he developed a blood clot during the flight home from Italy. And it says that, she says, I found myself Googling deep vein thrombosis in the middle of the night, scrolling and reading in bed in the blue light of my laptop, trying to understand what had happened. The sites I found listed risk factors for getting it, and there were plenty, including recent surgery, birth control pills, smoking, cancer, heart failure, none of which applied to Max. And then last on the list, on the very site I went to, was the weirdest possible one: sitting for long periods of time, such as when driving or flying. And of course he just had that long flight from Italy, so literally he died because he had this thing from sitting from a long period of time. And since he was the principal at the school, the board had to reinstate a new principal, and the new principal that they name is Duncan Carpenter, which is someone that Samantha knows from her previous school. I guess he was a teacher there, and he was like known as like the fun teacher and stuff like that. But she was madly in love with him. She had the biggest crush on him, and he was dating someone else, and it kind of just like broke her heart, and she didn't think she could like move on with things, so she moved to Texas, and now she has this job as the librarian. And now he's just been instated as the principal at her school. The state of my bookshelves. They are so messy, but there's nothing that can be done right now. That's a mess. That's a mess. Over here is a mess. I ended up just throwing these mystery books on my shelf for now, because they're technically not on my TBR until I like get some more books. I put this romance series over here off of my TBR until I get the first book, obviously, because I have 2, 3, and 4. Yeah, I don't have enough room for my Colleen Hoover books and all of that. It's just kind of, I have books sitting up there, have books just stashed there. Yeah, this is a mess. This is a mess. Having this double stacked is a mess. I made it to chapter 17, page 192, and it is 306 pages. So I'm probably going to sit here and finish up the rest. A lot of things have been revealed. I had suspicions about what it was. They were confirmed. And now I just need to know how it's all going to play out. Still very relatable, and I'm enjoying it. So let's see how it works out in the end. Great news, friends. I finished What You Wish For by Catherine Center, and I'm rating this story 4 out of 5 stars. This is my first Catherine Center novel, and I'm kind of interested in picking up some of the books on her backlist now, specifically the ones that I have heard about, Things You Save in a Fire and How to Walk Away, and then if I like those, go to her like further backlist. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. I could see people not liking this because it's predictable. It's, some people would say like cheesy, like that small town feel good vibe, but I love those things. So since I'm doing this for a blind date with a book, I think the important thing to focus on is if these descriptors right here fit the novel. So the first one right here, school librarian. Yes, because the main character, Samantha, is a school librarian and she is the main character. Self-discovery. Yes, definitely self-discovery. I think anytime you go into a romantic relationship, it's kind of like self-discovery, but also there's other parts to the story that definitely focus on that as well. Kind of like finding yourself in a way. Quirky. Now, I know that word is like a trigger word for some people. They hear that word and they run far, far away. But it's not quirky like Christmas Shopaholic by Sophie Kinsella. Those characters were quirky in a completely different way. Theirs was almost like personality based, and these characters are more like small town folk, but also Samantha the librarian likes to wear like lots of wacky outfits. She's dyed her bangs pink, she wears polka dots and stripes and tutus and rainbow suspenders, and kind of like the fun quirky, you know what I'm saying? Especially if you work in an elementary school, teachers go all out. So yes, so quirky in that way, not like weird, strange, unrelatable characters by any means. And last but not least, feel good. 1000% this is like a feel good book. I really enjoyed it. I was like, man, this, I don't know if it was just exactly what I needed in the moment, but it is short. Like even with the epilogue, it's only a little bit over, I think it's like 306 pages. So it does read very, very quickly. It kind of very quickly starts with the death of Max, who is the former principal of the elementary school, and now there has been a new principal instated at the school, and it just happens to be one of Samantha's former colleagues, and she remembers him as this like fun, funky, joyful guy that wore Hawaiian print shirts and like funky socks and like, you know, did all of the things. But then now he's this like drill sergeant. He has this drill sergeant demeanor. He wears like this 3-piece suit and he just seems really like detached. And I can understand why, and I think it's very apparent again to us, like what's going on as the reader. It's more like about the characters figuring out the story, so there's no like mystery like what's going on or anything like that. It's very obvious. It's a second chance romance. It's a small town setting. It has those quirky characters, quirky but lovable characters. Also, if you're looking for a romance that doesn't have any smut or any sexy scenes or any spice, this one is for you. The only like thing it really does is kissing, and it doesn't really like get graphic or anything like that. So yeah, I would highly recommend this if you're looking for something like that. So I enjoyed this. I rated it 4 stars. Like I said, I'm definitely interested in those 2 other books. I have added them to my wish list, which is linked in the description box of this video. So I definitely recommend purchasing A Blind Date with a Book from read by Andy Coe. I'm gonna have the website, the actual like link down below. Like I said, there's contemporary, there's historical fiction, there's mystery thriller, romance, and then there's like YA fantasy. There's a couple different options. She has like 5 different options right now, but the package is so aesthetic and I really liked the book I got. That's not to say you're gonna love the book you get, because it's a blind date, you know, and some blind dates are good and some blind dates are bad, but this blind date was wonderful. So thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you guys again in another video very soon. Bye guys.